we are reviewing all of this rules of O that we've learned so far. We have learned, and try to repeat these with me if you can. We learned that O says O when one of the next two letters is another vowel. If not, if those next two letters are consonants, or if it's a consonant in the end of the word, then that O will say ah with our jaw dropped, ah. We've learned that OA says O, and OA is usually used in short words, at the beginning or in the middle, not at the end. So OA is for the beginning and middle of short words. O, consonant, final silent E, is used to spell the long O sound at the end of longer words. OA, beginning and middle of short words. O, consonant, final silent E, end of longer words. We've also learned that O at the very end says O, potato, tomato, veto, taco. Taco, that sounds really good. It's dinner time for me. And we've also learned that A makes the schwa sound, Now your jaw isn't dropped, it's just hanging there. When three things happen, it's almost to the end of a longer word and there's a consonant after it. Then that O will say And when you're spelling that sound, you're going to use an O most often. Sometimes an A, usually an O. And I'll tell you when to use an A versus an O when we get there. All right, so let's do some spelling. Let me share my screen. Oh, you're having tacos tonight, Lana. Lucky, what are we having tonight? Got some hamburger wrap or something. Nachos. We're having nachos tonight. That's right. Okay, let me share my screen. Not that one. This one. So let's do this first one together. So we're going to be working on kind of combining all of the rules that we've learned so far. So it might be a little more on the challenging side, but we're going to do it together. Don't you worry. And remember that perfection is not required. We are just exercising our brain and getting better every time we do. So our first word, I forgot to remind you of what we've also learned about oi. We've learned oi. Oi is spelled with an OI at the beginning and middle of short words, just like OA. OA and OI are the beginning and middle of short words. Oi is spelled OY at the end of any length word. So if you hear oi in the beginning and middle, spell it in OI. If you hear oi at the end, very end, like boy, toy, spell it OY. Okay, let me show you something here. You can't spell oi at the end because words don't end in I. So this is at the beginning or middle of words only, like oil or soil. If you hear oi at the end, you have to spell it with an OY, like boy, toy. Okay? Beginning and middle, end. You're going to need that for this word. You're welcome. Number one. Let's do this one together. Boy pro. Boy pro. We have B, oi, P, O. Consonants. B, oi, P, O. Okay, here's that oi sound. I know you know that's an OI. Well done. You don't even have to worry. You just know that now. OI is for the beginning and middle. OY is for the end. And it ends with an O sound, which is usually spelled with an O, like taco. If you hear O at the end, sometimes it'll be an OE, but very rarely. Sometimes it'll be an OW, but usually it's going to be an O. This is going to be an educated assumption if you have to choose and you're unsure. Choose an O. Okay, your word is doibro. Doibro. D, oi, b, o. Go ahead. Try that one on your own. Doibro. And then drop it in the chat so I can see. Lily, I thought that was you because of your question mark next to your number. Oh, that's right. Your little sister is in the class before me. Wait a minute, that's your sister? That's so fun. Okay, our word is doibro. Doibro. Nice. Doi, doi. So what's going to spell this oi sound here? Okay, let's do our consonants first. D, oi, b, o. Now here's our oi in the middle is an oi. And then o at the end is o. Yeah? Okay. Next, I want Donbloy. Donbloy together. D, a, n, b, l, oi. Consonants. D, a, n, b, l, oi. Vowels. For the ah sound, I'm going to spell it with an o. That is the most common spelling for ah. That's its short sound. Can it say ah here? It sure can, because there's two consonants after it. That's all we need for an O to say ah, is two consonants after it. So it's perfect. And for the oi sound at the end, we use an OY. I bet you already knew that. Well done. Try yours. Flauntoy. Flauntoy. Go ahead. Flauntoy. Good. Flauntoy. Here we go. Good. Yeah, my mouth is open in the middle. It's an N, not an M. N, flauntoy. And I'm going straight from the N to the T. Flauntoy. Make sure that your word has the same number of lines as me. Flaw. My jaw's dropped. Ah, right here. That's that dropped jaw. It's not oi. It's just ah. Flauntoy. If you want to change your answer, go ahead. Consonants. F, o, a, n, t, oi. Vowels. For the ah sound, O is the most common way to spell the ah sound. Can it say ah here? It sure can, because there's two consonants after it. So all we need is an O to spell ah. And then for the oi sound at the end, it's an OY. You knew that, didn't you? You knew that, didn't you? You are getting this stuff, my friends. You are understanding how to spell. Isn't that good news? Number 3. Clausoido. Clausoido. We have k, l, a, s, oi, d, o. Together. Always spell the k with a C until I teach you differently. The only time you'll use a K is if the next letter is an E, I, or Y, but we're going to have a whole lesson on that. So we're going to use a C to spell the claw, the k sound. Our word is clausoido. K, l, a, s, oi, d, o. Vowels. I want the O to spell the ah sound, but in order for it to say ah, it must have two consonants after it. If there's not two, make two. Here's our oi in the middle that we know is an OI. And here's our O at the end that is usually an O. Clausoido. Isn't it fun when it just makes sense? All of these letters just make sense. You know why that's a C now? Because that next letter is not an E, I, or Y. It's not a K, it's a C. You know why this is an O. You know why this is an OI. You know why this is an O. You know the why of this word. Isn't that fun? Am I the only one that thinks it's fun? Put in the chat if you think that this could possibly have the potential of being fun. Put an F for, yeah, maybe. Maybe she's right. Daryl, I love that. Even if it's not a fun yet for you, Does it have the potential of being fun because you're understanding how to do it? Yeah, right. I knew it wasn't just me. I knew it wasn't just me. Okay, your word is grapoimo. Grapoimo. Make sure you have the same lines as me. G, a, p, oi, o. Grapoimo. Grapoimo. Yeah, drop it in the chat if you can. Nice, Imelda. My mouth is closed toward the end. So it's an M right here. I'm just going to tell you because sometimes it's hard to hear on the mic. And it's a G, G, G at the very beginning. Yeah. Grapoimo. Excellent. Nice, Sheldon. Oh my goodness. Anne-Marie, that was beautiful. Okay, so our consonants are G, A, P, Oi, O. Vowels. For the ah sound, I'm going to use an O. It needs two consonants after it. If there's not two, make two. Now that O can say ah, dropping your jaw, ah. Here's the oi in the middle that is spelled with an OI, and O at the end is usually an O. Grapoimo. Now, if you didn't get that spot on, you got it close. You were very close. Which is a A minus, right? Yeah. Progress is all that is required, not perfection. Okay, number 4. Well, let me just set you for success on this one. This one may or may not have that schwa rule where the O says when it's almost to the end of a longer word and there's a consonant after it. So I said that really fast. But I wanted to just throw that out there for this next word. Your word is, well, our word together. So we'll do this one together. Shoten. Shoten. So we have sh, o, t, n. Consonants. Sh, o, t, n. Vowels. Here is our O. Can it say O here? It can because there's a vowel 1 or 2 doors down. So O can say O right here just fine. Now for the sound that's toward the end of a longer word, and there's a consonant after it, we're going to spell it with an O, usually. So there's shoten. Your word is chopum. Chopum. My mouth is closed at the end. Ch, o, p, chopum. Chopum. Nice, Lily. You guys are getting to be stellar spellers. That's what I'm going to start calling you from now on. This is my class of stellar spellers. Chopum. I want this to be a long O sound. Chopum. And my mouth is closed at the end. If you can't hear it, it's an M. Nice, Rowan. Okay, consonants. We have ch, o, p, vowels. O is what I go to first. We don't need an OA. We don't need anything else. If there's already a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots, stop. You're done with just a single letter. O can say O right here just fine because there's a vowel right there. And this sound, when it's almost to the end of a longer word and there's a consonant after it, O spells the schwa sound. Chopum. Well done. Well done. You should be feeling very good about yourself. All right, let's end on, I'm gonna let you do this one by yourself. I want this word to be profondo. Profondo. Go ahead. Profondo. Profondo. Nice, Joseph. There we go. Po. This one might be kind of hard to hear. Po, not pro. Po. Fondo. Nice, Clement. There we go. Okay. Consonants. P, O, F, A, N, D, O. Vowels. This O can say O right here just fine because there's a vowel 1 or 2 doors away. This O can say ah right here just fine because there's not a vowel 1 or 2 doors away. O requires a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. Ah requires that there's not a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. And then O at the end is going to be spelled with an O. Now, what if I, just for fun, what if I wanted to change this sound to oi? You're going to put an OI there, right? Po, foindo. Look at all the sounds you can spell. Would you just look at all the sounds you can spell? You know when O says O and how to spell it. You use an O if you can. Otherwise, you're going to put an OA at the beginning or an O consonant final silent E at the end of a longer word. You know when to spell oi, OI, and OY. One is for the beginning and middle, one is for the end. You know how to spell the sound toward the end of a longer word when there's a consonant after it. It's usually going to be an O. Look at all the stuff that you've learned. Even if this is your first time, I bet that you gleaned something. I bet that your brain and your knowledge, your learning bucket is fuller than it was 30 minutes ago. And those nerve pathways are getting deeper and deeper. I'm excited for your progress, my friends. You're amazing. I'm going to hop over to reading class. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.